Hey, it's Jake here. I just wanted to give you guys a development update. Now that the game's officially been out a little over 2 weeks, I wanted to give you guys some info on where we've been, what we've been doing, and how the community is going. So this video is going to be divided up into 3 things. First, just features that I've kind of added or tweaked since launch. Then some things I've fixed. And then talk about where I kind of want to go with the game in the future. So you'll see in so let's just jump right into it. So first thing, a few things that I heard back is a little bit about these backgrounds, and I went ahead and changed this one. I really like how this looks. I like how the last one looks, to be fair, but I got some comments on it, and I'm willing to move a little bit with what you guys had to say. So I think it looks pretty good. I fixed you. So some things that I've been working on, not so much on this screen. I've really just been bug fixing on this screen. But the big change that I made so far is on the shipyard screen here. As you can see, this looks very different now. It felt really clunky in the middle. So what I changed it to is now you have these displays here that go to the turret. And all you got to do is just click and drag. Click and drag, and that is how you get your stuff. Also, some better feedback here. You click on these ones that are locked and you can't equip them. So I think this helps with the design language a little bit, and also makes it a little bit clearer, like what are your options, what categories do they fall into, and how does that impact things. Some people also weren't really noticing that so I have missiles here, the interceptor missile equipped to this turret. If I want to change it, I can see the DPS down here, the damage. What they didn't notice is that there's a multiplier for each of these ships here, that they all have slightly different stats. So like the light destroyer here has a 0.9 multiplier to damage, whereas the gunboat has a 0.8. The lifeline cruiser, or destroyer, excuse me, has a 0.65, but like the battleship has a 1.3. So it actually has, and this is EVE Online terms if you've played that game before, it actually has 13 effective turrets. Whereas on the cruiser here, it has 6 turrets, but at 0.9 damage bonus, it's lower. Wait, why do you have a 1.3 healing bonus? Isn't that higher than this? No, okay. So like here, the lifeline class destroyer has a 2x multiplier to healing. So it is more kitted out towards the support. And then also with the range, it has the same thing there. I just feel like this system is a lot easier to understand. It also keeps these icons. Before it was like icons and you saw the turrets, but it wasn't super easy to try. Why are you floating over it? I'll straighten that guy out. Training. Okay. What else have I done? So let's go into a game here. There is one thing I still need to add before I push this update. It's going to go out on Monday with some of these things people have been asking for. What do you guys think of the loading art? This is some of my favorite stuff in the game, besides the game itself. Updates here. Don't worry about the starting energy. I did that. I have a bunch of upgrades. So I added this high score marker here. There is a bug that I also need to fix for that. But now you can clearly see, okay, where am I at? How am I looking? Did I beat my previous high score? There's also been a lot of changes to the wait time between waves. So let's get into this wave here. Once that arrives, you'll see the next wave countdown is now only 20 seconds. What I was finding is that a lot of people were just, with the spawn early, just spam clicking it for the first like 10 waves because it didn't really matter, and they're ending up with way too much energy, because how the system works is it takes the energy that you would have gained by waiting and multiplies it by 1.2. You don't lose any energy by skipping, you actually do get a bonus. Now, I didn't want to remove that system because I don't want people to be punished for spawning early. I want it to be an added challenge, not a punishment. And the challenge comes from your ships maybe not being able to fully recharge their shield and armor. Oh yeah, that's another thing I added. This green box to show you kind of what you've selected. Make it a little bit easier to know which ships are in, which ships are out. Because there were a few problems with, let me get another one out here. So like I have these ones highlighted and people were, well, do I have this one or not? You couldn't tell. Now it's pretty clear. Now you definitely have that one. That's your ship. That's the formation. So I don't know if this reduction is great, but so how it goes is the first 10 levels are going to be a 20-second wait. Then up until wave 25, it's going to be a 25 seconds. Then 25 to 40 is 30 seconds. 31 or 41 to 50 is 35, and 51 to 60 is a 40-second wait. That way, like, you get a little bit more time between those late waves because they can be a little oppressive, or at least I'm trying to. That's the next thing. So moving on to more like the bugs and balances. There's a bug right now where wave 59 is the highest you can get to. I'm not entirely sure why, but I'll have that fixed for the Monday rollout. The other thing is balance. Balance is, I think it's good in the early game. I think at around wave 25, it really just drops the ball. And I'm gonna pull up a screen that kind of shows you what I'm working with here. All right, so these are the tools that I use in the game to actually like design the game. I worked with a game designer, Numberless. He's actually in the Discord, and he actually helped me develop these tools because it was just so hard to work on the game and visualize what was happening. But I'm a paranoid psycho, and I didn't trust anybody with my source code at the time. Like, this is my first game, first time in the industry. I don't know people, so we had to build that trust. And I think this is an issue that game developers go through, I think, and maybe I'll talk about it more in a future video if people want to hear more about it. But that was a challenge we had to overcome, and to do that, he actually helped me make these really cool tools in the engine itself, so they could go and test it. I could still keep my security, and we could build that relationship of trust between ourselves. So now I don't care. I'd send them the source code if they wanted it. But these tools are also super useful. They're really good. So I can go through each ship here and modify different stats. So like if I wanted to give this is going to be like 800, make its cost 800, well, there we go. I can just change it. I'm not going to save that. I'm going to load it back. But so I can see all of the enemies' different stats, how they rank against each other. And then we can go into the waves and see like what each wave system for each level looks like. This is how I work on the game. And then I can see like, okay, so level 1, this is how it looks. And these tall bars are like the swarmers, the swarmer waves. But so I'm trying to balance all of these different things, and it gets to be quite a challenge, especially across 15 levels. But the thing that people are noticing is that right around here, this increase in slope of ship HP is just not tall enough. It's not scaling. And see how it flattens out over here? There's really not much of a difference between medium and hard. So the fleet DPS you need to increase for medium, it's not steep enough going into, or for hard, I'm sorry, isn't steep enough going into challenging, and that needs to be much harder, in my opinion. Now for the first couple waves, maybe not, but right now they all kind of look the same. It's because there's different effects in the systems and the levels, but I'm slowly updating this to be a little bit more challenging in the first 5 levels, then in the next 5 make it a little harder, then 11 to 14 make it pretty tough, and then 15 just flat out really hard. But these are some of the things I'm battling to do balance. So if you guys, like, if there are some balance experts out there that want to screw around with this, feel free to jump on the Discord. I'm more than happy to send you a zip with like this design stuff. I'd trim it down so you don't get the full game, but like for those of you that have the full game, just hit me up on the Discord and we can talk, and I can give this to you and you can screw around with it. And you can like basically design your own game. So getting into like expansion stuff that I want to do, or am thinking about doing for the game in the future, is one, actually releasing these tools here, like giving people a level design system so they can design their own layouts for levels. They can design their own wave systems. They can put in, probably not modify the base ships, but maybe if they want to have a different variant for the enemies, yeah, maybe there should be a way to do that. This would also be an interesting way to do mod tools, because I think everything you need here, except for a level designer, is for modding. You have everything you need to mod the game. The only thing you can't do right now is change the sprites for the ships. And I think it would be really cool to eventually see somebody mod this and you have Star Wars ships, but you can go in here and modify these waves. So if you guys want to see these kind of tools released as part of the like modding tools or workshop stuff, let me know. I'm more than happy to start working towards it. But other things I want to get to, let me move screens here. Other things I want to get to, like in the I'm done with the tutorial. Thank you. That's specifically for the debug mode. It doesn't know the order of screens I'm going in. I want to add more ships for sure. I want to add some more upgrades. Like I want to have a capstone upgrade for each of the legendary ships. In the future here, I'm also going to be reworking this screen a little bit to give me more information to work with. But I have ideas for new ships. I have ideas for new turrets, which is kind of what you saw on the shipyard screen, because I categorize it now. So I kind of want to fill these out. I don't know what I'm going to do. Happy to take sci-fi weapon ideas. I've actually been watching a lot of, Ship Doc? Space Doc. It's Space Doc. I had to look it up. I watched a lot of their videos on ship design and stuff, and I actually got some of the Star Wars and Halo ship cross section. So I want to do some more with ship design there and use some inspiration for ship features. I'm also thinking about adding a defensive category, so you could make like a tank of a ship. Something that is a little, I feel like underutilized, or maybe it's just not well thought out from my end as a designer, because this is my first game that I've designed and produced and coded and released and all of the yada yada yada. The shipyard button up here, can I just skip to like wave 6? Probably. Fun behind the scenes thing, these points here are mandatory points for the path to go through, and then these other points right next to it, so that's how I made the anchoring move around. I said this video was going to be short, and I'm sitting at like a 14-minute audio recording. Man, I could just talk forever on this game. So see how the shipyard's available, and there's a visual glitch there I gotta fix. But it just seems underutilized, and maybe it's just a little too overpowered. This is what the old shipyard used to look like. Or still looks like right now on Steam, but I'll be changing it. Maybe I should make people commit to their ships at the start of a level. I mean, that kind of makes more sense sci-fi wise. But I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments here. What do you guys think? What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see changed? I know the balance needs work, the bugs need fixing. That stuff I know about. I've heard you. I'm working on it. I'm a single developer here though, so like it takes a little bit of time, and I appreciate all of you guys' patience and support through all this. You guys have had some great ideas in the Discord. But what are you guys wanting to see that maybe you haven't spoke up about? And bounce off each other's ideas in the comments below. Let each other know what you're thinking, where you want to go with it. But that's all I got for now. More updates coming out soon. Remember to check out the Discord. Bonus for you guys that are watching this now, if you haven't purchased the game, there is going to be a sale. I have scheduled the sale. United States Labor Day weekend. There is a sale coming. All right, that's a bonus for watching this video. Just throwing that out there. All right, I'll see you guys around.